Hey everyone, Sissy here, money coach for female coaches, consultants, and industry experts who wants to make more income from business without having to sacrifice more time working on the business. In this episode, that we're going to talk about um, a difference between revenue versus income in the business. It's something that came up while I was having a strategy call with one of my new clients that we started this coaching program for female coaches consultants. It's called the Counts to 10K a month cash flow income program. So today I'm going to talk about the difference between revenue and income because he wanted to have like a financial glossary of what it means to as a coach, as a consultant, and just to have the basic terms that she can get used to. So I thought it might be helpful for you in your business journey as well. So let's talk about that. What's the difference between a revenue and an income? And I remember seeing something in a Facebook in a group other day. A LinkedIn trainer, he posted something like, "Oh, I had my first major win that I've been working on this for the last 4 months, and I had like 119 web registrations to my webinar from this. I had X number of people who gone through my webinars and an X number of people who's gone through my sales call, and then I had like 10, 11 clients paying me 1,997 pounds, and so I made like roughly around 4,400 pounds. But the point is that when you say you made money of 4,400, are we talking about now the revenue here, or are you talking about the cash collected from coming from your client here? Are you talking about the profit as a thing here, or are you talking about the income that you're taking away from the business to you personally? And this is the thing that I wanted to clarify today. Like when you say, "Oh, I've got money that's coming in my business," like what do you mean? Like what do you exactly mean? Do you mean like you made the revenue, so you made a sale, but you haven't earned it yet because you haven't delivered the service? Is that what you call money? Or you say you have collected the payment and you have also delivered the service, but the client hasn't paid you, or client has paid you some money but hasn't paid in full, and like, is that called you money? Or something that they have already paid for, but some client hasn't paid, some has paid, and but it's not your money and you still haven't paid your taxes on. And is that your money? So I want to like demystify the whole process and give you more clarity on what do you mean by this terminology, so when you have these conversations with either mastermind people who you do have in the conversation with, and also to yourself as well, like this is what I am, and this I need to have different pockets, that this is what so that you can satisfy yourself, like where are you right now in terms of money wise to you personally. But at the end of the day, that's what it matters, guys, isn't it? So that's exactly why in the business world, actually, because we have a responsibility to ourselves first. Then when you can help others, and so we have responsibility to ourselves first. So I want to talk about the exact meaning difference between of revenue and income. So revenue is just that you make a sale and someone says yes to you, and you send an invoice, and that is a revenue or sales. But that doesn't, you haven't earned that yet because you haven't delivered your service. So maybe that you do coaching for 12 weeks, maybe it's a 1 month, like a one-on-one consulting basis, maybe it's a subscription basis. It depends on what you sell and what service you deliver, but you have to earn it. And when you have earned that revenue, when you have delivered your promise to your client, and on top of that, when you and then when you allow for all the cost that has that has to be covered in order to deliver that promise of yours, and now that becomes your income. It's simple as that. So when you just say money, that I really don't know what you're talking about. Like, okay, cash is cash, but what do you mean by money? Like, so that's the food for thought for today. So when it comes to, coming back to this conversation that on a Facebook post that I saw about, and she said, "Oh, I made 4,200 on average a month for the last 4 months because I've collected around 18,000 pounds." So, but what has not been taken into account is she hasn't um, she hasn't covered she hasn't put in the cost that is incurred building the funnels, and there is no cost in relation to running the Facebook ads, and that's just getting people on the door, but she hasn't even delivered the service yet. So there is no way that 4,400 could be of income. And this is where that people get really confused, that and other day, one of my clients that we started this. So what we do in our coaching program is everyone start with 90-minute strategy call to map out their next 90 days, and I call it the conditions of success. It's just not planning, it's just built on conditions, what needs to happen in order to get you from where you are right now to where you want to be. So so in these condition success calls, that she said something like, I'm so pissed off with seeing my revenue going down the drain, and on top of that, and I get a slap on my face with the taxes. And this is what happened. This is a classic case what could be happen to this person, because she thinks that a 4,400 something she's made from the cash she's collected is her money. And like, when you say money, like, what do you mean by money here? Are you talking about the revenue here? Are you talking about the cash that you can take home after paying every possible thing, like income, your personal tax, your business tax, paying for, just to open the door, the run fixed expenses in the business, or someone you need to pay to do the job, that you help someone who help you directly to make the sales. So that's what it is, guys. So revenue, and we say like revenue is a pleasant dream, and cash in the bank and after paying everything is that's the reality. And there's a comment here is a Mohit loves example, income is everything, that's what pays the bills, that's what we invest. Yes. And so how much just based on this revenue versus income, and it's crucial to understand this, and because at the end of the day, that whatever left over as income from the business is that's what you take home, and that's so important, and so important to focus on this thing. I call it the singularity of focus. And 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 uh, and people say like, what well, if I focus on revenue, then eventually most of them will follow the path into income, but not necessarily. And that's where you have to understand the difference between revenue and income. So if you are selling any kind of coaching, and you're doing any consulting work, and you're thinking that whatever you get is that your income, it's your money, and think again, what do you mean by your money? Because it could be, I just get so confused, and when say, oh, I made this money, and like in what category are you talking about, in terms of money here? And they're like, having cash in the bank account is money, having a profit in the business is money, and having a revenue in the business is money. So and what are we talking about here? So we need to be more specific, and the more we go into more detail about this, how we can maximize that eight buckets, and that's where the gem is, and that's where you start to make more leapfrog into making more profit and more cash flow and more income from the business. So so if you have someone that thinking, oh, I just collect the cash from my clients, and that's my money, and that's my revenue, that's my income, that's my everything, then I invite you to think again, because it's not the same. It's not, and that's what I see mostly. And I thought I would do a video around this one. As I started this coaching program, and one of the things that I asked to do was to see, can I have like a financial glossary of some of the terminologies, so that it can help me to understand the process, and here you go, that I want to differentiate between a revenue and income in the business. So that's what I would like to share with you today. And if you got any questions on this, and I would love to answer. And please do invite others as well. I've started to do this Friday at 4 p.m. GMT to talk about one thing that you can take away uh, 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 on the call, and and I give that information to you. And on top of that, if you have any questions on this, and I can answer them live on call on here. And if you have some friends that who have questions that you have come across, that you can please reach out to them saying, hey, this guy is answering inquiries around what you were asking at Friday 4 p.m. GMT. And if you want to shoot me a message, then I'm mostly available on Instagram and then LinkedIn, platforms. You can reach out to me, and and yeah, and I would love to see you every Friday at 4 p.m. GMT. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And I publish helpful content every Tuesday at 4 p.m. GMT. And I want to talk about how do you increase profit and how do you increase cash flow in the business, how you make more money from business by using business as a vehicle and without having to spend more time in business. And that's what I love to talk about, and that's what I'm really passionate about. And especially female entrepreneurs that um, and yeah, if you have your friends, and do invite them, and I'd love to help you and with whatever I have. And that's what this platform community is all about, and that's what this Friday at 4 p.m. GMT call is all about, with one and only sole intention of you walking away with one actionable, one implementation strategy, that if you are stuck with anything that you're doing right now in terms of the business wise, like money side of the business, that how do you make decisions in the business, how do you get unstuck in analysis paralysis, and how do you stop in procrastination, and how do you price your product, that how you do the margins, could be anything, then I invite you and your friends to come and hop on Friday at 4 p.m. GMT, and I'm more than happy to answer any question that you may have. And oh, by the way, I've started this an idea day series, helping just entrepreneurs just like you to make more profit, make more income from business. It's called an idea day, which is every Monday I give strategy on how to make more, how to improve your cash flow. And Tuesday is all about how to improve your profit. Wednesday is all about wisdom Wednesday, something that we can all learn from a wise man or wise woman that is relevant to you and what you do in your business. Thursday is all about tools and system process, and that you can use to help you to release you from being the bottleneck in the business, so that you're not stuck time trading for time. Fridays, all the questions that I've been asked for the last 17 years, I'm answering one by one. And Saturdays is about stories from just like you, and who's been, where are you right now? You can relate to them. You can, so that you're not alone. Because I know entrepreneurship can be a lonely place to be in. And on Sundays, we share the stories of someone just like you in your shoes, that were there were a couple of months ago, or a year ago, that you can just follow the path that they have taken, and just model the success, model the steps that they have taken, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm sharing that. So if you're interested in that one, and you can join in sisirkarka.com slash an idea, slash AIAD, an idea day. You can join. You can ask your friends to subscribe to that. This is exactly what you get. And this whole thing came about for the last 6-7 months, and based on my one-on-one research talking to female entrepreneurs just like you, and share and having understanding of what is the deepest problems, the challenge that they have come across, and based on that, and I've produced a content for 7 day series just to tackle that. So if you are always pressed for time, so if you're always feeling like stuck in analysis paralysis, if you have low on confidence and self issues in the business, if you feel like you always have lack of money funding in the business, and you feel like, okay, the financial side of the business is just not me, and if you have stories to share, and if you are feeling overwhelmed in the business, and this content is for you, because it's directly relatable to you, and you can just spend about 5 minutes a day, and 5 minutes a day you can take actions in the business and move forward in the business much faster, and you don't need to go anywhere else. I strongly believe in that. All you need to do is to read for 5 minutes, And then sooner they will have this in audio format as well. You can just read this one, or you can watch this, and you can do something about it. But it just takes less than 5 minutes a day, guys. This could be, well, like the best 5 minutes you spend in a day, probably. And you walk away with one actionable step, one implementation strategy that you can do today on that day, and then move forward in your business. So if you're keen on that, and go and check it out again, ccitkarka.com/AIAD. So I would love you to join the community and share the golden nuggets and which in that in with my subscriber base, and I would love you to join the community as well. So I'll see that if there are any comments or questions here that I would love to answer, and I can't see anything here. So I would call it a day, and I'll see you guys next week. And I'd like to thank Dev Spasnat, Mohit, and thank you so much for tuning in, and for others who haven't commented but tuning in, and I'll see you next week at the same time, same place, and with me, and helping you to something about that, what you're currently doing right now. Just ask me questions. If you want to ask me questions about in advance, you can always do that, and you can just grab me on Instagram and say, okay, this is my question. You can even better that if you can just do like a Loom video or something that is specific who you are and what exactly the question is, so that I can actually cater the your question and your direct answer to your specific question, that I can exactly help you with this, with the deepest pain problem that you have right now, and I'll answer them direct on call, like in on YouTube live. I would love to do that. So please reach out, and if you want to do that, and stay blessed. And I'll see you next week. Bye for now.